What's up? Community Analysis 14. You're looking at a dude on the far side, so not the skinny one, as he put in his own words. This dude. Um, yeah. First of all, this camera angle is really bad. I can't even see the full court. Does he adjust it? No, it stays exactly the same. So let's. I said I was going to analyze it, so I'll watch a little bit of it. Yeah, so a few things. One, this server is just way too casual. Like, if you're playing to win or to compete, like, this is just there's just no pressure on the opponent. Um, you're just like walking towards it, and like you're just showing very early that you're gonna lift it back, so they can just basically mentally and physically prepare for the high lift. Yeah, so you do high lift. Looks like this guy is slightly better than you. Um, the lift was short, as you can see, like the feet land here. So even though he is smashing not even with full power and not even with his full body behind the shuttle, like it's still going to be a pretty effective shot. So a little better here. Just work on the shot quality, work on meeting the shuttle higher. I can't see what you're doing here. So it looks like you just served, and like looks like you're just very casually like just reacting to the shot. You're not kind of being proactive. And what I mean by that is if you're going to serve wide, you should mentally and physically prepare for him to play a straight shot, because that's going to be um, a longer distance for you to cover, right? Which he does here. And like, look, um, you're still at your base position, so now you're going to have to run, and you get to the shot super low. So again, you lift, and here again, you had a lot of options, like good clear. You get to the shuttle here on time. You could have played like a drop. You could have played a straight clear, but here you end up playing something with very poor quality. Like this clear is very short height wise, and it gets only to the mid court. And I think it's because your clear didn't really have a swing in it. You're just using your forearm. So there you go. A little bit better of like a attack. You should be getting the shots at that point, but try stepping into the serve. What I would say. Good. Again, just like look at this clear. He literally didn't have to move. Like his feet have stayed exactly the same. So you know this is for sure sign that your clears like are just of poor quality. Good. Again, the same thing. If you're gonna do this, also don't you're like just waiting. Like look at where your racket is. Bring your racket up. And again, if you're gonna do this, follow up to the shuttle. You're just like you haven't taken a step forward. Yeah, kind of the same thing here. Just like of a split step. And also kind of you're biasing the wrong side. Like you see where his racket is. This is like the straight or this way because he's using a backhand. Your footwork positioning is actually more biased towards this side of the court. So yeah, you're definitely gonna yeah, you definitely need to work on your lifts too. better. Again, if we look at your arm, like there's really no arm swing, so um, you could be getting more out of it, and then also your contact point is a little bit low, which is why the smash is going so high above the net. Alright, so a few things. Better clear, again, needs to be a little bit better though. This is a good-ish clear. A few things. Let's see where you are. So at this level, right, the guy is playing like okay. So you can only really expect a straight like backhand drop or a straight backhand clear. Again, and because the drop is gonna be like the faster shot because the clear will be high, you should be biasing towards the front, expecting the backhand straight drop, which you're not. Again, you're very upright. You're just kind of like being like your body language is kind of telling me like, okay, like what is he gonna do next, which like works, but it's not optimal because you're wasting time essentially, right? So thankfully he gives you like a poor shot, which if you were a bit more forward, you could have just killed it right there because it was so high. You could have just like pushed it down. Instead, you try and do this shot, which is really loose. Like I would have just played a straight shot. Because like the idea of pushing it all the way to this corner, like to the right side, is a good idea, but that is just like a higher technical shot to play, and it looks like you're just not able to do that here. So I would have just played the straight shot, added pressure, because putting it to the middle like that um, kind of lets him back in the rally and gives him options of where to place the ball, which puts your footwork under pressure. So a few things here. I would have just kept playing it straight. If you're clear, like as we said before, you're struggling on your clears, and you know a cross clear needs to be of higher quality to be as good as a straight clear. Which, like here, like it honestly looks like he's just like playing nicely. I think if this was a competitive scene, I would have just smashed it as hard as I can. The block needs a little bit of work. You don't really need to push the shot and give it its bounce. Just stick your racket out and kind of let the shuttle bounce off the strings by itself, so it lands like flat around the net and around. Sorry, it goes flat above the net and lands right around this first line. That's the kind of the same thing is happening here. Yeah, same thing. Yeah. Again, the reason why he's able to do that is because you're showing him like very easily what you're doing. Your racket has a very big swing, which I mean, with practice it gets smaller, but I just wanted to point that out. And of course, the lift is of very low quality. Like look where his feet are, just very mid court. It needs to be higher, faster, preferably both. Look where you're hitting this. This is why you're like you can tell you're really using your arm to hit this shot, um, but it's not going anywhere because your contact point is so far away from your body. And like if you think about it, like kinetics wise, this like not being straight is really like reducing a lot of the energy that you can generate with your arm because now that the shoulder's fully extended out for the most part, like you're only really relying on your like forearms and wrist to generate power, um, which is not efficient. And with the like low contact point is just, yeah, it's really killing your clears right here. That'll come with practice. All good. Better, better, better. All right, so this rally was just like a bunch of lifts. Um, why? I guess is the first reason I want to ask because it feels like you're like tired and you're wanting to basically just play defense, um, which would be okay if your defense was better. Like what I mean by that is like if your lifts were of better quality, this kind of play style would be okay as well, and also if your clears were of better quality. But at the moment, I probably would say consider your shot choice a bit more. And what I mean by that is like for example, if you like play a lift here, right, and he does a drop, play a net, make him run, either the straight into this corner or the cross if you can. At this level, I would say just play the straight, right? Make him bend down and get to the shot, and then when he lifts to you, which is probably what he's going to do, play it clear. It doesn't have to be cross either. It can just be straight. Like you can just basically play half court singles because you're just going to add a lot of pace and speed to the rally. So either way is okay. Because when you play like a cross lift like this, right, which isn't of good quality, again, look at his feet landing, you're opening up your court because you're opening up his angle of attacks, right? Thankfully, like his smashes are towards your body, and you're not having to move much. There you go. There you go. Better, better, better. Better quality here. Again, expect that short lift, or that short shot from the backhand side. Wow. Okay. Let's see why I can't see why it's so loopy. The camera's or he's blocking your. Yeah, I can't see why that shot's so loopy. Getting short. No, there's no need to jump here. Jumping doesn't really add power into your shots if you're not effectively rotating your hips anyways, which we can tell by your feet you're not because this right leg is not coming forward, it's just going out. So I would really, I said this in the last analysis I did, I would focus on staying on the ground, working on your rotation, working on getting in and out of corners, all on the ground. And once you feel comfortable and you can play that like consistently, then okay, start training like jumping shots. Okay, so your lifts should be like this. They don't need to be this high because that's a lot of time, but in emergency like that, it's fine. But they should be going back this far. Right, so a few things. Again, like these shots are just way too relaxed. There's no urgency in these shots, so the opponent doesn't really feel pressured, right? And again, like this drop is like way too loopy. It gives him a lot of options. It doesn't, pressure him. Like what I'm trying to say is like if the shot is like this loose, it gives them an easier time for them to play harder shots. Like for example, like a cross net return from here. But again, yeah. Also, the problem with here is you play a drop and your like return to the to base is kind of slow. You should always be expecting like the most dangerous shot to come next. So, like for example, if I play a drop, the most dangerous shot is probably going to be a straight net reply, because that is the shot that gives me the least amount of time to react to. So you should be already preparing footwork wise to go to that corner, which you're not. So what happens here? Does he flick? No. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but better. This should be how you be clearing. Whatever you did here, keep doing that. Okay, so what it is, it's like look at the contact point. You're still just using your forearm and your wrist, which is okay, especially if you're relaxed. Sometimes you might want to use your shoulder too for speed, for like punch clears. But like look at the height, making him move all the way back, and it's in this like second box. So good. The amount of times he's done this. So this is more of like a mental thing when you play against opponents. Like, of course, we are humans, so we're all going to have favorite shots. We're all going to have habits, tendencies, that kind of thing. If you see an opponent do this over and over again, it doesn't have to be the specific shot, but any specific shot. If you notice your opponent likes, a favorite service return, or he only smashes from the forehand corner, you should be adjusting your mental and physical like positioning to kind of cater your defense to their style. Yeah, so the problem here is again the clear is just too um it's just not far enough. And again the shot to the middle. I think the problem with clears to the middle, especially for beginners, is that it kind of doesn't make clear what needs to be protected. What I mean by that is like for example, if you clear straight or you lift straight, you know that the straight smash is going to be more dangerous because it's a straight. It requires least lesser time to travel, so you know to slightly bias the straight side. But when you play to the middle, um, everything is equally dangerous. So you really got to focus on your footwork and your agility basically to make it effective. But yeah. All right. So what the hell happened here? Again, short lived. Yeah. And this like this last shot, this whip shot. Like look where your arm is. Your arm is basically horizontal. So like yeah, there's just no way you're gonna get any power out of that. I don't know what happens here. This is actually better. That was actually like a really good flat lift. You should be doing like that. Okay, but the thing is, you don't need to be stepping back. So here, you catch him off guard. You see how this is called the late forehand shot, right? Typically, when this happens, most players, even at high levels, will play a straight, flat shot to this front corner. So you don't need to be stepping backwards. You need to be stepping forwards and have your racket up, expecting it to come here. Um, Other than that, they'll probably play a straight clear, but you'll have plenty of time to get that. So you really just focus on this. And if they play across, when your footwork develops, you should be able to get that too. So like if you see this shot is like quite high, if you were ready for it, you could have just smashed it down, right? The cross here is it's if it was of good quality and was here, I would have said yes. But again, it wasn't, so I would have just said play a straight shot. I don't really see the point of playing another cross here. Yeah, he gives you the ball. I would just play the net shot. Yeah, good, good lift, like accuracy wise. Again, move up, have your racket above the net, not below. Better. Your drop should be of that pace and that tight to the net. Just way too loose. And again, you're just like too center here. You played a net shot, so you should be expecting a net shot back. Those shots are going to require the least amount of time. So your base position should have been a step or a step and a half closer towards the front line. Um, yeah, so I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, I think you're just tired because that clear just did not sound good. This is actually a good block. That was fine. But you're kind of just like not really expecting anything. So like again, I'll try and bring this up here. You see like his racket, you should be expecting either a net shot, which he plays, or like a very flat lift. So your footwork should be reflective of that. Right now, it's very like neutral, very defensive, which is not ideal. Better lift, better clear, play a net. Good. So a few things. You play it like this is a better quality shot. And then I showed this last time. Look where he's getting the shot. He either is going to play a lift, which is, not going to probably get past your midcourt, or he's going to play a really bad net shot. So you need to be up there again with your racket up, expecting the bad net shot. Like you have the right idea of pushing it, but at a higher level, when like margins are tighter, it won't be that easy. You won't have as big of an opportunity. So you really need to be aggressive and proactive. Right? So, mm, yeah, I would have played a clear here. That was a very poor smash in my opinion. I would have played a net here or a straight lift. You kind of play a lift to the center, which isn't, doing you any favors because it doesn't put him under movement pressure. So now we're just driving. So yeah, I would have played a straight net shot here. Just like yeah, let the shuttle bounce off the strings, get a lift or a net because you're out of position, or played a straight clear. Right. This is fine. This last shot, I would have either played a drop or a clear because you're not in position. You're hitting the shot behind you, right? And like you don't have the forearm strength to play a decent smash it from this position, unless like probably only like A level or pros are able to do that. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, he's able to take out the pace and make you move forward, which at the moment is an area of weakness for you. So good, better. Yeah, you don't need to be doing backhand. You had plenty of time to get behind that, um, like with the forehand footwork. So like, don't be lazy. Um, yeah, and just get behind the shot. Yeah, you had plenty of time to get behind that. What happens here? I think he played a good drop. All right. Well, I think I've seen enough. I don't want this to go on too long. If I'm just gonna keep repeating the same things, I know that can get annoying. I think the biggest takeaway is I think it's probably physical. I'm just I don't know if you were doing training before this or you're just like your muscles aren't used to badminton or maybe you just need like strength work, but just the overall vibe I'm getting in terms of like both like mentally and physically is just like a very like passive and almost lazy play style. There's not really like any split step prep or an attempt to. There's really not any initiative in the serve returns. A lot of these shots are just very like passive. You're just like giving the ball to the player. So what I mean by that is like a lot of lifts, a lot of clears, not many drops or punch clears, not many net shots, that kind of thing. So I would say like work on, of course, the footwork, work on the split step, work on the idea of playing shots with intent is a way one of my coaches describes it to me, right? So what I mean by that is if you're gonna even in singles, when you receive a serve, like take it high, show aggression, and that gives you more options, right? Um, when you play a clear, like play it with a reason. Don't just play it because you're just gonna give them the ball back. Like I need to buy myself time, so I'm playing a clear here. I want to put movement pressure, so I'm gonna play a punch clear. Crap, they surprised me, so I'm gonna play this emergency clear, buy myself time. Like play shots with intent, right? And of course, like the basic beginner things, like get more coaching to work on your fundamental shots. So work on the shot quality of your clears, on your lifts, on your nets, and that will like already take your game a lot further than it is now. I hope this was helpful. Um, if it's not, let me know how it wasn't, and I'm happy to kind of reiterate or comment on anything that might be confusing or just not understandable. But yeah, feel free to message me in Discord. So peace, like and subscribe.